right? The idea of having good body language is most of the times we are observing what people are actually doing while they talk. Do we all observe that? Do we all agree that we are observing how people carry themselves before we even communicate something? For example, let's take a quick example here. I'll do a a small little activity. I want to see how you identify someone's body language. There are some people who are on video right now, correct? I have Dhanya on video, I have Kartika on video, I have Shruti on video, and who else is there right now? I don't see anyone else, by the way, on video. I think yes, Prasuna is also there on video. Okay, let's do a quick activity. One person I'll pick right now. Let's say I'll pick Dhanya, for example. Can everyone see her? Everyone can? Now you're forgetting something else that I told you last time. In sessions like these, how do I understand you're getting my point? What will you do? Gestures, right? So now, what are you going to use today a lot? You have something here which is known as reactions in your Zoom, right? So for everything I say, I need a reaction. Do you all understand? So now let's focus on Dhanya for a moment. Great, I'm getting a few thumbs ups, which is nice. Look at Dhanya, all of you. Okay? Once you see her, start observing what her body language is telling you right now. I want to see some observations. She's sitting very normally, good enough, simple expression on her face. Now, what I want you all to judge is what is the body language she's carrying. Try to derive something from how she looks. Look at her once. Look, take a proper look. Danya is in focus today for all of us. Since everyone is looking at her, now start observing and tell me what do you think she's thinking right now? What is her body language? Give me an answer very honestly. Whatever you feel most honestly, please tell me that. Who wants to go first? Come on, let's have some answers today. Who wants to go
Sir,
first?
sir,
Neetu. Yes, Neetu.
yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, because she is smiling, she look very positive,
Okay.
and I think she is more active to
Okay.
answer
Okay.
everything according to me.
Okay. Very positive, right? I
Positive because
because
she is
because she's
smiling.
smiling, right?
Yes,
You have
yeah,
derived it's very positive right now.
yeah,
Great.
yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So one plus for her is because she's smiling, she looks
Mm-hmm.
positive.
Hmm.
Please make a note of all these things as you give me the pointers. I'll ask you about it a little later. Okay? Because body language is one of the topics we are discussing today. So, the first opinion I got was because she is smiling, she seems positive. Point
Yeah.
number one. Okay? Let's take another observation. Who wants to go next? Everyone has seen her so far. Come on, let's have some opinions. Neetu gave me the first answer. Who else?
So her body posture and her facial expressions represents that she is actively participating in this conversation.
Okay, okay. So you think she is active because
So
of
her
her
body
posture?
posture and
Okay,
facial expressions.
and facial expressions. Okay, fine. Body posture, facial expressions. Okay, I agree with you. Now again, what that is telling you is because you said her body posture is good, she's active in the session. Okay, so positive, active. Two things I got so far. What else can you observe? Anyone else has observed anything else looking at her?
She's curious and excited
Curious. Okay. What makes you think she's curious? Can you tell me?
to listen the opinion of what other is going to say.
Okay. Okay. Someone is also telling me in the chat that she seems confident, which I agree with. Okay. Confident. So, how many things have I got? I've got she's positive. Because she's smiling, she seems positive. She seems confident. She seems attentive, right? She's focused, she's attentive. Now, what is all this when we observe, right? For her, sitting there in one position and smiling is just something she's doing very normally. It is not pretentious, right? She's not pretending to do something else just for the heck of it. Body language essentially tells you what a person is thinking and is about to do. Okay? Take a note of these two things. What a person is thinking and what he or she is about to do. In some cases, even what he or she is about to say. Everything can be learned from body language. All the aspects of good communication stem from good body language. So, good body language means good communication. Good communication means good body language. Both are related to each other very closely. All of you have one body language, no? Right now. If I shift it from Danya to someone else, okay? If I shift it to the people that I'm seeing right now, let's say I shift it to Kartika, for example. Will everyone agree that she looks slightly different than what Dhanya looks? Correct? Do their faces, their expressions look different? They do, obviously. The reason for that is everyone carries their own body language. Whether it is positive, negative, neutral, whatever it is, everyone carries their own body language. The essence of good body language is a pleasant face, a good posture, right? Sitting very well, have a good face, good smiling face, positive attitude. Good body language also means positive attitude. I will explain all of this in detail. I am not done explaining this, but always make sure that you do one thing in communication. No matter how much you work in the future, whether you work in a team, whether you work as an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter how, with whom you work, with whom you network, with whom you talk. Understand, in everything body language is essential. What you show is what people read. Okay? Everyone has a knack of reading faces. Face reading is different. I'm not talking about that. Everyone has a knack of reading faces. That means observing the basics. If someone is smiling, everyone is very happy, right? If, let's say, if everyone starts smiling now, everyone will be very happy. So suddenly the attitude will be positive. If suddenly everyone becomes serious, then what happens? Everything will go down. So people say, oh no, I'm not enjoying this. Why? Because I don't know why the energy is not good. When you say the energy is not good, what is it? Body language. If someone is speaking, okay, tell me if you have observed it. How many of you see YouTube videos? How all of you see YouTube videos? I am not saying specific to any topic. I am saying just general YouTube videos. Someone does food blogging,
Yes,
someone
yes,
does,
sir.
right? Everyone sees, no?
Yes,
What is it that you observe in the videos? The one who speaks, right, has certain
exactly.
expressions on their face, how they talk, how they present everything. If someone is having food, how do they present that food to you? Only then you will watch, no? If someone is very serious talking about food, will you watch? You will not watch. So the idea is communication through body language. There are three essential aspects of good communication. Okay? Three essential aspects. One is, I told last time, you always have to pick the right channel to communicate. If you feel someone prefers communicating face to face, someone prefers communicating on videos, someone prefers on chat, as per their preference, you adjust your communication styles as per the channels. Secondly, always have good positive body language. Remember that your body language is never hidden. Whatever you show is what people see. There is nothing in between. If you're serious, I am only going to say that you're serious. I cannot say anything else. If you're happy, I'll say you are happy, right? It shows on your face. Always remember, good body language means good communication. There is absolutely no alternative to this. If you have good body language, you will communicate well with people. If you have bad body language, you will fail miserably. It is something you all have to understand. That is the reason whenever you all come to the sessions, I tell all of you, no, what is the first thing I tell you? Please come on video. Why do I tell you to come on videos? Because if I cannot see you, how will I communicate with you? So the idea of doing that is knowing how you feel. Okay? Understand that this is a very, very important aspect of good communication. Let me share some slides with you so that I can just get started with where we left off last time. And I think we'll continue from there. Let me see if this makes any sense. Last time, I think I also spoke a little about concise communication. If you all remember, how to keep it concise. A lot of times communication becomes a pain. Now, I've put something out for you in the chat window. Sorry, not the chat window. My screen is shared, not the chat window. So let's assume that these things that I've put out for you are known as the rule of three. What is the rule of three? While speaking and while writing, I said the most important information that you give out should always be told first. I said that last time also when I was speaking to all of you. Information gets lost a lot of times when you give too much of it. So if I speak too much, the most important information is lost. And it is a very common thing to happen. So ideally, ensure 2 or 3 things that you will be able to do. The 3 key points that you have, whether it is writing something or whether it is speaking to someone, should always be in focus. Finish them first, then you can say whatever you want. If I am asking for a request or for some work to be done, I am not going to beat around the bush asking for it. I'll straight up go and ask. It's for the other person to decide whether to do it or not. But for me, the most important thing is giving the information which is most important first. Applies to both, again, as I said, speaking and writing. There is no difference between the two. Make sure that you're very concise, very precise with your communication. It cannot be this way or that way. It doesn't work. If you feel that you need more time to communicate something, if you feel you need more space to do that, you can always ask the person and say, you know what, I have to give some more information also, but this is the primary reason why I'm talking to you. And most importantly, don't do it without any head and tail. Okay, I've said this before, I said it in the last session. Greetings are important. How you address the person is important. Getting to a point doesn't mean you suddenly get to a point. You have to know that there are certain rules of communication. You first say hello, then you say how are you doing. Greetings are very, very important. Then you get to your point. So ideally, yes, information, the most important one, should be given first, but know that there is a process to communication. And understand that you always have to give the other person a chance to respond. Of course, not react, respond. A lot of times I have seen people give some information and they disappear suddenly. So they'll just say, I need this from you, and they're gone. Nowhere to be found. Then there is no response, no chat, nothing happens after that. This also cannot work. Ideally, if you are giving information, you wait for a response. But make sure that it is concise. It's absolutely important to know it has to be concise. Okay. Now, 2 things I want to discuss today. Body language is one, which I told you. Assertiveness is the other. I briefly got into assertiveness in the last session, talking about being assertive. Some of you also, I think, were trying to tell me the definition of being assertive in your own way. Being assertive is saying what you want, when you want. Some, I think, were also saying it's more about confidence, right? Straightforward, being straightforward. Everything is okay, but let's try to define it one by one. What exactly is assertiveness in communication? A lot of times people fail to understand this concept because they feel being assertive means just being very straightforward. Whatever it is, you say it as it is. That is not assertiveness. Sometimes being very, very straightforward can get you into a lot of trouble with people. So I just want to today define the place of assertiveness in communication, what it is and how it works. Let's understand this first. There is an image on the right and there are certain pointers I've given on the left. Let's try to understand this in detail. Let's understand 4 pointers here. Okay? Aggressive, passive, assertive, passive aggressive. And these are all different, by the way. Know what they mean. We all know what aggressive means, right? I don't think I have to explain this to you. We all also know what passive is. Most of us do not know what assertive is. We also might know passive aggressive at times because we might have seen the behavior of people, some people. What is assertiveness? Read that first and then read the rest. It will make more sense to you. Assertive means balancing the right of self with right of others. So what is that balancing? Being in the middle. It's not top or bottom. Aggressive means exactly the opposite. What does an aggressive person do? He says what he wants to say and forgets the rest. He or she doesn't care about what the other person feels, how the other person feels, what is going to happen as a result. It cannot work. Some of us are aggressive by nature also. I'm not saying it's a quality some of us might have. But over time, what is going to happen? We will always be asked to tone down the aggression. People will keep telling us, why are you so aggressive? Why do you say so many things to me? You cannot say things like this. That is aggressive behavior. Disrespecting people, raising your voice, raising your pitch. A lot of times these things happen. An assertive person says things very clearly, but his voice is never raised. Okay? Understand the difference between the two. So what is the biggest benefit of being assertive? If you become assertive at work or in general as a person, you will have a lot of comfort in life. Because being assertive means being very clear, but not aggressive. For example, you can see today we all have a chance to be assertive. Today, I want all of you to be assertive. If you observe someone's body language and you feel, it's not right, somewhere I feel I don't think this is the right body language. You should be able to say it clearly, not be diplomatic about it. Taking an example here, okay? Let's say I'm seeing Pallavi here today. I can see her on video right now. What do I say about Pallavi's body language? Again, purely as an example here. So I can say, Pallavi seems like little lost today. I don't know why. Now, there are 2 ways of saying it. I can say Pallavi seems lost. One way, okay, seems a little disrespectful to her. If I say that Pallavi is lost today, disrespectful. What is the other way of saying this? Pallavi, you seem to be in some different world today. What is going on? With a smile, making it as a humorous comment on what I can see. So what can Pallavi do for this? If I say it humorously, she will at least choose to respond to me. She'll say, no, there is some meeting coming up, I'm just in that zone right now. Maybe that is why my face looks like that. At least I'll get a response out of her. There are 2 or 3 ways of dealing with this. Being assertive means I'm still being very clear to her. I told her very clearly, I feel you are lost today. But I said it differently to her. Never never in your work or in your personal life, being assertive can hurt you. Never. But what can hurt you? Being passive can hurt you a lot. Being aggressive can hurt you a lot. If you fit into any of these categories, the assertive part, if you fit into that, very nice. I'll be very happy if you are assertive. But if you are not, if you are in the first category, you are in big trouble. If you are in the second category, you are in a little trouble. Okay? Passive aggressive also, you're in little trouble because it doesn't work in real world. The way you communicate assertively also tells people that you're confident in the way you communicate. Let me ask you a question. Okay, let me see if I get some good answers today. Let's assume that one of your friend, right? Okay, some very close friend of yours is passing certain comments on you every single time whenever you're in a whenever you're with your close set of friends. Somehow some comments he or she is passing on you. It's all in fun according to her. According to her, okay, not according to you. Now you somehow do not like it. You want to tell her this, boss, this this is something which is not right. It keeps telling you, keep telling yourself this is not correct. How do you tell it to her or him? Can you tell me? Does anyone have any idea? This is a very, very critical situation to be in. This person is a very good friend of yours. Telling something to a friend can hurt that friend also. But if you don't say it, this will continue. How are you going to stop? Tell me. I want detailed answers to this. Who wants to go first? Think and tell me, what will you do in such a situation? I want to see some responses today. And don't tell me you have to be assertive. That is sort of a given because that's what I'm saying, that you have to be assertive. But how will you be assertive in this? If you speak too much, if you say something which he or she will not like, your friendship is in trouble, basically. How will you do this? Tell me, who wants to go first? And does anyone have any idea how to do this? And I have done this before, by the way. So just telling you that I have done this before. That's why I want to see your response. Yes, Neetu, you want to go first?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, actually, this type of situation is also happen on me. So,
Okay.
I asked directly with her कि if there is any problem with you, if there
Correct.
is any problem going through in your life, why are you doing this to me? Number one thing. Number two thing, you can say that, are you reading comic books nowadays? In a fun way, I can say that.
Okay.
According to me, sir.
According to you. Okay. Okay.
According.
So there are two things, Neetu. Okay.
Yes,
Of
sir.
course, I'll try to get another response as well. Most of the times, what happens is if a person is saying something or doing something repeatedly, we cannot get into the details of why certain things are happening, but it makes you uncomfortable, right? It is reason enough for you to say something about it. Reason enough to say something. Now, if you want to eradicate the problem completely, you have to be that clear with that person. Otherwise, that problem will keep coming once again. It never ends. It is a never ending loop in your life. So, once you have to be clear and you have to be precise. What she said, okay, partially it can work, but I'm still not sure it is going to work very well. If someone has a better solution, please give it to me. Tell me how this will stop. Happened once, happened twice, happened 3 times, 4 times. Now it has to stop. How is it going to stop? Anyone? How will you be assertive in this environment? Tell me. How can you make sure that this stops? You all would be in that situation, no? At some point. I hope you were in that situation someday. If not with your
Sir,
friend, with someone else. Yes, Danya.
yes. Yes, being a friend, we can directly open with her.
Okay.
We can tell, hey
Okay.
dear, the way you put it, I didn't like the way you put it. It is.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it has
Now,
happened to me. Like, be among the friends, we may crack some jokes or something. So what happens?
correct.
The friend came directly to me and she told me, "This is not the way, right?" Then I realized, yeah, I needn't tell that time. So that was not the right time to put it. So then
Okay.
I consider
Okay.
the way how people have to be treated. So yeah, we
Okay.
can.
So you basically, you mean, you directly, whatever it is, you should be able to
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
that person, right?
yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll take your view on it.
Mm.
I'm still not getting a detailed response on this. If someone understands what a detailed response is, I'm still not getting that. Does anyone else also have an answer before I tell you what to do in this situation? Anyone else care to generate a response on this? Okay. Since some of you are, maybe you are thinking what to do, or maybe you're not being assertive enough in telling me, Shilpa, you have raised your hand.
Yes, sir. I would, like as Danya said, I would clearly communicate to that person that I don't
Okay.
appreciate what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I would expect from them is there a particular reason I have done something to
Hmm.
you because of which you're responding to me like that? Or
Correct.
like, are you
Correct.
constantly targeting me because of something? So that is what I would approach and talk to them through it. So that is how I see it.
Okay. Okay. Great. Now, one most important thing. See, everyone agrees you have to tell them directly, no? That is fine. That is absolutely something we all have to do. What we have still not chosen to do is pick the environment to do it in. I said this last time, I am saying it again to all of you. What did I say last time? The channel is important. What am I saying right now? The environment is important. If you say something to that person in front of 10 other people, what is going to happen? The same thing, no? So, like Danya is, is she's shaking her head and saying no because she agrees with that. She might do it privately, which is fine, right? Danya, am I right? Correct? Doing it privately. Okay.
Yes.
The best thing is, if you want to come out of this situation, do you have to be clear? Yes, you have to be clear. But do you have to do it privately? Yes, you have to do it privately. Preferred channel, face to face, not over WhatsApp, not over phone calls, nothing. Meet face to face. And what are you going to say? Boss, 2 or 3 times I have observed that you are making these comments. Now I don't know why this is. There could be two reasons. One is there is some problem. Okay. Maybe because you are in a different state of mind, maybe that just comes out. I don't know. Secondly, it is being done because you have some problem with me. That could also be the case. If so, this is the time to talk so that it doesn't happen next time. Okay. What happens is when you make such comments in front of 10 people, I am shown in bad light. I don't want that. Straight up, very clear. I don't want that. That's it. Because if this continues, what is my response going to be? Then he'll say, yes, then you will get angry. So, exactly, I might get angry. So, let us avoid this. We all meet, we all have good conversations, we all, have fun together, we all respect each other a lot. Let us not cross the line of doing that. This is how you have to communicate clearly. Push this or shift this to work. Okay. Work related assertive communication. Same principle applies. There is no difference. Apply the same principle at work. If something is bothering you about someone, or someone is bothering you for some reason, do make sure that you call that person in private, have a conversation, tell that person this is not right. To me, if you ask me, even the hierarchy doesn't matter in this. Okay. Even if someone is above you, you should be able to clearly say to that person, a few things are not okay. What is going to be the difference in this? Maybe your tone will differ, maybe your style will differ, because you will not speak how you speak to your friend. So you will not say, if you do this next time, I am going to be angry. This you can say to your friend. You cannot say this to someone who's working as your superior in a team. But what can you say to them? You can say, you know what? I feel this just creates an environment where I'm not comfortable. So if I have to improve somewhere, you can tell me, I will definitely improve. But this makes me slightly uncomfortable. Then you expect a person to give you a response. Either the response is a change, someone will change and they'll start doing things differently, or even if it remains the same, slowly but surely it will die. Because she knows or he knows at the back of the mind that you are not comfortable with that. Always understand that an assertive response is an opportunity to clarify things. Okay, let me repeat that for you. An assertive response is an opportunity to clarify things. Once things are clarified, you do not have any problems. And that is why you all have to learn to be assertive. Don't be passive, don't be aggressive, but be assertive. Always have a middle ground for everything. Being assertive also means having a middle ground, not being on top, not being at the bottom. I have put two scenarios in front of you. Can you see? What is scenario A? A colleague repeatedly interrupts you during the meetings. This is a very common scenario, happens everywhere. Second, your superior assigns you additional tasks when you're already overwhelmed. Too much work is already there, still you are getting more work. Two very difficult scenarios to deal with. But both need an assertive response from you. Let's take the first one, for example. Continuously, someone is interrupting you in the meetings. You start speaking, they speak. Again, you are making your point, they'll interrupt, they'll speak. A lot of people have that habit. My question to you is how you are going to deal with this. I want to know your responses. I will go from the first question. The first question is what I'm looking for. If someone continuously interrupts you when you speak, what do you do? What is an assertive response to this situation? Think about it just for a few seconds. But I want some good responses on this. It is very important for me to know because these are very common scenarios you will get anywhere, whenever you work, wherever you work. These things do happen. What is the first thing you will do? Let's say if you continuously are being interrupted in the meetings. Once it has happened, twice it has happened, three times it has happened, keeps happening. What do you do? Raise of hand, tell me what is your response. What is the first response to being interrupted in the meetings? How do you handle this situation? Anyone has any idea? Yes, Pallavi? Pallavi, I think you're on mute.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. First, I would like to say, excuse me, just allow me to finish first, and then I would like to listen to you. Or else, first you say, and then I'll take your after your turn.
No, you can
That's
go
what
ahead, please. I want to know your
I would
response.
like to
Go ahead.
say on this.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that is what I told. I mean, like, when somebody is continuously interrupting me, I would like to say, kindly excuse me first. Let me finish while I'm talking, so that the things will get cleared.
So you will say
Else
it in
it'll be mixed up and it'll.
You will say it in the meeting itself, you're saying?
I mean, since it has to be cleared out, so that is what my view is.
Okay. So if someone has interrupted you, let's say one or two times, essentially you will just stop that person there itself. Okay, and you will tell that person ki boss, don't do this, you are interrupting and this doesn't work. Okay, there and then you will say it, is what you are saying, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there
Yes.
and there is what Pallavi will do, is the first response I've got on it. Because someone is interrupting, she's going to say, boss, this is not done, don't do that. Everyone else, pay attention. Okay, because I want to know your responses as well on this. This is the first response I've got. Fine. Shilpa, you have raised your hand.
Yeah, I can probably tell that person that if they have any questions reserved for me, they can make a
Okay.
note of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute I'm done in presenting whatever I have to present, I can take up their questions at a later point. Is that one way I can, stop their questions?
Okay.
I don't know. That is just what I feel can be done.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Anyone else care to venture a response?
Sir, that is one or two
Yes.
times I can adjust. But after that, what I can say is that, excuse me, friend, I can understand that you have some valuable point to present. So before that, let me just put forth my point. After that, you can add your valuable point.
Okay. Okay. Again, the scenario for me is not changing still. Okay. What you all are telling me is this is going to happen right there and then. Okay. That within the meeting itself, all this is going to happen. You're going to tell him, boss, you first let me talk, whatever it is, and then you can finish your point. Or like Pallavi said, again, same way of probably saying, making the point in the same way, that you first wait, let me finish. Either you talk or I talk, something on those lines. Okay. Now, two of those responses I've got, environment still doesn't change. Okay. Anyone else wants to venture a response on this?
Sir,
Can this be done any differently? Yes, Danya, go on.
sir, I will pause for a while and I will ask the other person to share his view. Once he is done, then I will continue.
Okay, okay. So there's only one problem though, okay, which I think it's a fair response. But again, what is happening here is that person is interrupting you a lot of times, right? My problem is the interruption, correct? Because you're getting interrupted a lot of times.
Okay.
So if that keeps happening and you actually allow him to do that, him or her to do that, this will continue further. That's even a bigger problem now, right? Yes, Pallavi.
Another view from my side is I'll just take it. Okay, let him listen to him, whatever he's telling.
Okay, okay. So you will let him or
I'll
her
stop.
finish.
I'll stop off.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
The other person, let the other person finish.
Let the other person finish. Okay, okay. Now in both the scenarios, okay, scenario number one and scenario number two, there is one thing which is common here. Okay, scenario number one, because there are interruptions all the time, if someone keeps interrupting you, your entire flow is broken. Okay, so that particular aspect has to stop immediately for you to be in some flow, right? Whether it happens within the meeting or whether it happens otherwise. I think the most important thing is the flow has to be maintained. So something has to be conveyed very clearly to that person. The only thing which no one said was that again the same environment this has to be done. So if it's a meeting which is going on, within the meeting itself you will convey that, okay, you know what, don't interrupt me, let me finish my point and then you speak. So again it is happening during the meeting itself. What have I told you many times? I've said this last time, I'm saying it again. If you
Speak to
want
them.
something to end, you change the environment first. It cannot happen in the same environment. Okay, the interruptions have happened, I agree, but where will you convey that the interruptions are happening? Not in the meeting. If you convey it within the meetings, you know what, at times you have people around you whose apparently whose egos are larger than what they look like. They will take it upon themselves to do it more. What does that mean? the environment did not change. Best thing you can do, again, deal with a problem individually. You cannot group the problems together and deal with them. This is also a problem. This is an individual problem. 3 people are not interrupting you. Only one person is. So that one person has to know it, but has to know it separately. That, you know what, boss, I've 2-3 times I've observed in the meetings, whenever I am trying to say something, you are coming up with a response. Although I appreciate that, you know, you have so many things to say, but let me finish mine first. It helps if other people get to hear me also, right? Clarity is important, absolutely important, but always know that in a work environment, especially, you have to satisfy everyone's ego. You cannot just be with your own. Understand that. It is a very, very important aspect of good communication. It should never be an ego battle between you and someone else. Even otherwise, I feel, even otherwise in life, if you make everything about ego battles, nothing comes out of that. Nothing good comes out of it. So, good communication is where you keep the ego aside. You tell the other person very, very clearly that, boss, you know, this is what I feel. You know, you shouldn't do this. Let's maintain a decorum of the meetings. The word is decorum. There is a process we are all following. So if you get 2 minutes, I also get 2 minutes only. You get 5 minutes, I also get 5 minutes only. Let me put in my 5 minutes first. I am more than happy to listen to you. Say that also. Doesn't matter. You want to satisfy someone's ego. No, it is fine. I like listening to you, but unfortunately, I am not able to make my point. It is always important to know that if these things are said clearly, it will make a difference. It will 200% make a difference. But the environment has to change. Said this before, I am saying it again. You can never do this in a public environment. It never helps. Because that person will say, oh, in front of 10 other people, she's telling me this. Now I will interrupt more. Right? This is what happens. This is a reaction that you get. Everyone comes with a different mind, you know, a different mindset, a different ego, a different understanding. Know that all of these things are important. Can someone tell me a response to the second scenario also now? Because we are talking of being assertive, someone is giving additional work to you when you already have a lot of work to do. Now, generally, these are superiors who might be doing that to you. What are you going to do in this environment? Tell me. How will you be assertive? You do not want to do this work. Nothing extra you can accommodate. How will you avoid this? In the scenario, in the second scenario, being assertive will be more important than the first one. First one, though, okay, it's about a meeting. You will sort it out. But the second one is very, very important because it could be with someone who's superior to you. Now, how do you deal with it? How will you be assertive to that person? I want to know. Let's get some responses. Who wants to go first? Let me see what kind of responses I get. Yes, Pallavi, go on.
Right now, I'll assume that you are my supervisor, and you're going to assign me.
Correct.
I would like to say, so it's very nice. Thank you for offering this. But I would like to tell you that I have already, I've got already 2 works. I mean, 2 tasks that needs to be, and later I'll be taking up this 3rd task, which you are giving it.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll tell it. So if you're okay, I'll continue. That's all.
Okay.
And give me some time. That's what I'll tell him.
Okay. So you'll ask for some more time, right? And then maybe you will try to accommodate the task a little later, is what you're saying. Now, although that is right, correct.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Yeah, I'll just tell him. That currently, this is what I'm dealing with. First, I'll tell this is what I'm going through, the task which I got and their deadline, and next I'll be taking up. Basic communication. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else has a response to this? Think about it. This work essentially is something that you do not want to do. Okay. Because you cannot accommodate more work. There could be any reason for it. You're already loaded with work. You have deadlines. You have timelines to adhere to. There could be a lot of things which are there. Now, the problem is if you say yes, you are in trouble because you cannot do that work. If you say no, also you are in trouble. Either ways, you are in trouble. But being assertive can help you in some way. Shilpa, yes.
Yeah, I have to face-to-face communicate it to my supervisor.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
that I'm already overwhelmed with work. No, I can't say that I'm overwhelmed with work. I have to say that I have certain tasks. Now, if
Okay.
you assign me this additional task, they might, considering that I already have quite a few tasks to complete, it might affect the quality of the work that
Right.
I am doing.
Right.
So, we will not be able to meet certain, like probably a deadline that has been given for the other work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would have to take, if you are, if we don't want to compromise on the quality of the work that is being provided, it would be better to like take an additional deadline and do it, or like not put it on my plate right now. So I would communicate it to him clearly, but it has to be done face to face
Okay.
with
Okay.
telling what could be the advantages or the disadvantages of the work.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I also did get a response on the chat from Madhushri, I think, about not actually saying no, but maybe taking more time, and maybe accommodating it. I guess that's what she's trying to say to me. Um, yes, again, give some more time to complete is a couple of similar responses I've got. Now the problem is not that you can accommodate work. We all can accommodate work. That is not an issue. If you choose to work 8 hours a day, right, 8 to 10 hours a day, you can say, okay, you know what, because I have to finish this task, I'll put 12 hours a day and I'll finish this. This is one way of saying. Then in which case it is good. No, you don't have to say no at all. You will say yes, why not, I'll finish it, I'll give it a little later, I'll still finish the task. Now the problem is you cannot put 12 hours. Then it becomes a problem. Now what do I do exactly? Because I cannot put in so much time of work. So there is one thing which is very common here. One is you have to be assertive when you are not able to do something. If there is no provision to add on, right? You have to say no to people. Being assertive also means saying no. Doesn't it? I don't care to whom you say no. The way of saying no is different. That I agree. But you have to say no to people. Not everything can be accommodated. Not everything can be done by you. If it was that easy, if it was that simple, we all will work so much. No, we'll work for 12, 14, 20 hours a day, no matter what. But humanly, it is impossible to do that. Okay, let me show you something which will give you some idea. Let's look at the first part of the solution. We had one problem, two problems, two solutions. Okay. Now, this is probably something which is very critical for you to understand. Assertiveness works a lot on I statements. I am affected. I feel frustrated. I don't like it. Okay. A lot depends on I. Okay. Make I statements when you're assertive to people. I am not happy. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I am not in favor. I. Okay. I means whatever refers to you with I statements means you're more assertive in your communication. But you're not aggressive. Aggressive means your tone will be higher, your pitch will be higher, and then you will still make I statements. Then you are aggressive. Here I am not aggressive. I'm just saying I am frustrated because something or someone interrupting me during the meeting doesn't allow me to complete my points. So you have to allow me to do that. And what's the ideal way to say it? I appreciate your enthusiasm. So I know that you're a very enthusiastic person. You want to make a lot of pointers, but could you please allow me to finish my point? Everyone will get a chance to speak. This way, you're conveying something with I statements, saying it affects you more. That is being assertive. Point number 3, body language. I've said this before. You have to maintain a good body language. I statements also mean you have to be more confident as you speak. You cannot be underconfident. As I keep saying that, high pitch is not right while you speak, even low pitch is not right. There is something in the middle, no? You have to maintain a good pitch while you speak. Sound confident when you speak. Maintain eye contact. Look into the eyes of the person when you speak. Don't look here and there. It is a very bad habit some people have. You have to look in a person's eyes when you speak. And that also tells the other person you are more assertive by nature. And don't escalate the situation. You are not trying to create a war. Understand this. Even if that person is interrupting you in the meetings, you're not there to pick a fight with that person. Sometimes what I do is, let's say if someone keeps interrupting or something like that happens as a situation, I have a very simple thing to say to that person, that what, I know you have a lot more points than me, because clearly you are more intelligent. I am not that intelligent, but that is why, because I'm not that intelligent, I know I need those 5 minutes, no, to speak. You allow me those 5 minutes, then you say whatever you want. Anyway, everyone is listening to you, no? You take more time, give me less time, but what less time I get, give me complete time. So if I am supposed to speak for 5 minutes, I should have complete 5 minutes. Then you take your time. That way this person also feels my ego is satisfied. He is not trying to create any trouble for me. He is only telling me he wants his 5 minutes. I'll give him that. Don't escalate the situation, but maintain that you need your time. So what are 2-3 things that we got to know? You have to remain assertive, but being assertive also means that you have to calm the situation. You don't want to escalate it. Second, make I statements. I am affected, I am frustrated, I feel this way. It is all about you, because being assertive means you're talking about your needs, your wants. This situation will be completely off if you do it this way. If you tell the person yes very clearly, but not escalating the situation, it will be taken care of. Second, what did we discuss? Extra work being dumped on you. Now, the first thing to do is acknowledge the task. Understand that there is an important task someone is trying to give you. So acknowledge the importance of the task. Don't say that this is not important. Sometimes people say, "Oh, okay, this I can do later also." No, it's not that important. Don't start by saying that. Acknowledge that some things are important, they have to be done. Time is another factor, but these are tasks which are important and they have to be completed. You always should be able to convince the other person about your current situation. Most people cannot do that. What they'll say, okay, what, okay, let me see, I do have some extra work today, but okay, I'll try to accommodate. Let me see, I'll put some extra time, maybe 1 hour more. If that finishes in 1 hour, I'll try to accommodate. This is very tense. Now again, this is a loop which will continue next time. Second part is the most important part. You have to make the person understand how many things you are doing in a day. How much time does every task take? So, why I'm not able to do this is because I'm not getting time from XYZ things. And it is all taking my time every day. So, I'm not able to accommodate this task at this point. And the most important way to get rid of this problem is suggest a solution. Suggest an alternative. to this problem. You cannot do it. Maybe your colleague can do it. She has some time. She's in your team. You know, if you request her, she will do it for you, right? You can make that request to her. So Danya tells, Pallavi, or Danya tells Neetu, or Danya tells Shruti, just, you know what, this is just 1 hour's work, okay? Can you please give me that 1 hour? Because today you have some time, no? I am totally loaded today. You please do this. This is very, very important. If you need any help with your task also, you know I am there to help, right? This is one request I am doing. You please do that. Very less chances that that person will deny you. Very less chances. Because everyone is actually looking to help you out. Most of the biggest problem we have is we do not ask for help. Because we feel everything should be done by us. If work comes to me, I have to do it. Something comes to me, I have to do it. It is not like that. Being assertive means being very clear about your wants and needs. Understand? If you have some want, you have to be clear. If you have some need, you have to be clear. Do we create this confusion when we go, let's say, to a restaurant or to a cafe to eat something? There is no confusion, no? Do we tell the waiter anything else? No. If you are hungry, what do we tell them? Hey, just get this, 2, 3 things. Get this immediately. Right now, I need it because I am hungry. Right? This is something we do very clearly, no? No confusion. In this case, I know it is very difficult to say no to a task because it is being given by someone else to you who's maybe in hierarchy, maybe higher to you. So I'm not saying straight away deny. I am saying offer a solution, but be very clear about your problems. And if it's not possible to do today, say it is not possible to do today. Be very clear. Again, not rudely, but assertively. Say that, you know what, I could have done this today, but unfortunately, because of these 2 deadlines that I have, I will not be able to accomplish this task. And instead of this being half done, I suggest I do this tomorrow because I'll be able to give my full attention to it and finish it on time. If you can convince people, they will agree. Convincing is your job, not anyone else's. Remember, persuasion, convincing, okay? Persuasion, convincing are 2 very important qualities you have to develop in life and in communication. Persuasion, convincing, pursuing people to do something, convincing them to do something, convincing them from your side that you cannot do something. Doesn't matter if it takes 20 minutes for you to convince that person, but you have to convince that person that, boss, sorry, not possible for me to do that. And that means you have to sometimes, or a lot of times, say no to things. You have to say no. I'll run you through a slide to tell you how to say no, but understand that it is a very, very important aspect of being assertive. Please look at these examples that I've put out in front of you right now. Expressing your opinion and speaking directly is assertiveness. 1. Making eye contact. Please use your eyes very well. It conveys a lot of confidence to people. If you make a mistake, okay, assertive people, when they are very assertive, they will also accept their mistakes. So if I make a mistake, I shouldn't say, you know what, that's not my problem. It is not something I did. Accept your mistake. Say that, you know what, yes, I did make a mistake. I should not have done it. Even that you have to say very clearly. So accepting your mistakes and saying it clearly is also assertiveness. Okay? Make sure that if you work in a team, right, you're working with other people. Assertiveness also means acknowledging everyone else around you. There are 2 kinds of people we always meet. Okay, one is the aggressive ones, one is the assertive ones. The aggressive ones will never acknowledge others. They'll say, okay, it is all mine, no? I only did everything. It is all my credit, my doing. Aggressive. Assertive people say, yes, I've done my job, right? I've done my job very well. but I have a very good team backing me up. So Dhanya cannot say that it is all because of her that something happened. She has to say everyone is involved. Pallavi did a good job. Karthika did a good job. Everyone has helped me to achieve what I have achieved. Assertive behavior means confidence, but not overconfidence. Understand that there is a line between them. Confidence is different, overconfidence is different, underconfidence is different. Three things. What is how do you define three things now? Overconfidence means up. Upper than required is overconfidence. Confidence means measured, balanced. Underconfident means not knowing anything, whether to do something, not to do something, always in doubt. For a good communicator, confidence is the key. Always. If you want to be good, you want to communicate well with people and be assertive, the biggest key is confidence. And for that, what do you need? The power of no. You always have to say no. Get into a habit of saying no to people and not saying no randomly. Okay? Again, at times when I teach this to people, they take it wrongly at times. They feel, okay, I have to say no to everything. No, it's not about that. You are not going to say no to everything, but know where to say no. What are the scenarios? What are the scenarios to say no? If you cannot do anything, it's beyond your capacity, not feasible for you, you say no to it. What is the first point I have given? Know your no. Know your no. That means before you say no with confidence, you have to be clear, as it says, that you want to say no in the first place. So saying no for the heck of it doesn't help you. You have to have a reason to say no. If you have reason enough, please say no. Second point is important for all of you. Say no to the request, not to the person. Understand that. Say no to the request, not to the person. So don't make it personal. Don't make it an ego battle. If Neetu is asking for help from Danya and Danya says, no, Neetu, I am not doing it. Okay. Now, when she says, I am not doing it, it becomes personal for her because she's saying, okay, Danya has refused me. So she has some problem with me. She has said no to me. That's a wrong thing. Saying no to a person is wrong. Saying no to a situation is not wrong. How can she say no to her? She can say no by giving a reason to her. She can say, Neetu, good that you asked me, but unfortunately, because of these two deadlines that I have, I will not be able to accommodate this request of yours. So you're not accommodating the request, okay? You're not saying no to her personally. You're not making it personal between you and her. Always understand that saying no to things you don't want, things you do not need, is assertive behavior. If you all cannot say no in any situation, you will struggle with a lot of things at work and in life. That is something I have learned personally as well in my life. If you say yes to everything, you are in a mess, absolute mess. Because you can never manage things. You will keep saying yes to everything, no? So you will say, okay, you know what? I have to travel also tomorrow, but I have to finish this work also. Then I have to call this person also because you have said yes everywhere, no? So Dhania has committed to 4 different people, 4 different things. She has said, okay, I will go with a friend outside because she's been calling me for 3 weeks. I have decided today evening I have to go, so I am going. Okay, 2 hours gone. Tomorrow morning I have to travel early morning. I cannot cancel that, so I am going. Third, I have to finish work also today. How is all this going to get managed? Impossible. So what Dhania has to say now? What Dhania has to do? She has to say no to at least her friend. No, he boss, 3 weeks we have cancelled. I know. One more week. Okay, you allow me. Next week, both days I will keep free. Whichever you pick, we will go. Whichever you pick. Give her a solution, but make sure that you have more time for yourself. If you keep saying yes, 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 everything is gone. Understand that yes is not something you can do. Yes is not something which makes everyone happy. Yes, it might make everyone happy, but it will make you very sad in life. So the ideal way to do it is say no. Whenever something is going above your head, say no to it. And that means saying no means having a positive body language while saying no. Understand these points very well, because these are interconnected things. Assertiveness, communication, body language, everything is interconnected now. What is good body language? When we started the session, we were observing people about what they were doing. I took a couple of names. I told you guys to tell me how their body language was. Now understand these 6 things that I've put out in the picture above: tone, physical appearance, gesture, posture, facial expressions, touch. Okay? Tone. How is your tone? Confident, overconfident, aggressive, everything is here in your tone. Understand that your tone is important. Physical appearance is very important. Most people do not pay attention to it, but it is very, very important. In life, you have to, these days, especially when we live in times of, social media, Instagram, and, God knows what, physical appearance is very important. You don't have to be fashionable. I'm not saying fashionable is physical appearance, good physical appearance. Simplicity is also good physical appearance, but it matters a lot. That's why I tell a lot of people it's not what you're wearing, right? It's how you carry it that matters. Because everything is related to your confidence, no? Everything gives you confidence. Just imagine, because you're all ladies, you will probably know this more, right? The day you wear your favorite costume, you'll be very confident, no? Tell me if this is true. You wear your favorite dress someday, you'll be very confident, no? Favorite dress, today I'm looking very good. You know that confidence is coming from within. It is very important to know that. That's why pay attention to your appearance. Understand it looks good. If it looks good, it makes a good impression. So, physical appearance is important. Gestures are very important. Am I just sitting here and telling you things? No. I'm using my hands, I'm using my face, I'm always doing something, no? These are gestures. Everything is gestures. I told you to use gestures also, no? Give me a thumbs up, give me claps, give me something to know that, this is all going well. Gestures are important. Smile is a gesture. Okay? Nodding is a gesture. Doing this, yes or no. Everything is a gesture. You cannot just sit with a straight face. No, it doesn't help. You have to do something to tell the other person you are understanding it. Postures are important. You have to, sometimes they say sit straight, right? Sit straight with your, with your back on your chair, straight. What is the posture doing? Confidence. Everything gives you confidence. Face, expressions. I've said this before, saying it again. This is very important for you. It is not about looking good or, whatever. Some people would appreciate doing makeup. Some people might not do makeup, with makeup, without makeup, whatever it is. Doesn't matter to people. If I see a smiling face, I'm already attracted to a smiling face. I want to talk to that person. If it's a person who's very serious, right? Looking very serious, feel very serious, I will not talk to that person. I don't feel like talking to that person. I'll say, no, yaar, she seems very, I don't know, serious. I don't want to talk to her. I don't know what she will say to me. Understand that everything matters. Here, this, everything is important. If all these things are understood and applied, your body language is shoots up like anything. It is very, very important for you to know that. Read this before I explain this to you. 5 roles that non-verbal communication plays. Read it first. Understand what this means. It is very simple to understand. It's not very complicated, but something which will help you to improve your body language. See what happens when someone's body language is speaking to you. There are 2 important aspects I think which I'd like to emphasize on before, as you read and understand all of this. The facial expression is what I was talking about. Just recently, I spoke on this. There is a point here which says substitution, right? Substitute for verbal message. Your facial expression often conveys a far more vivid message than words ever can. So when I'm talking to you right now, or even when I'm, spending so much time doing these sessions, there are 2, 3 things I'm doing. I'm not just talking to you, I'm also observing your faces. When I see your faces, I begin to judge what you feel. Because your body language is telling me that, no? I can see it from the face. If someone is serious, I can feel it. If someone is not interested, I can see it. If someone is interested, I can see it. Now, there is another thing. So, some people, what they have done to save their body language, they have switched off their videos only. So, now I cannot see anything. So, I will judge the people who are on video. Okay. Does that mean people who have switched off their videos have bad body language? I'm not saying that. I'm saying half of your observation, right? Half of my observation is dependent on the facial expression that I see from all of you. It is very important to know if good body language sticks with good communication, right? That means a person who is able to talk well and also has good body language, everyone around wants to talk to that person, interact with that person. I'll tell you guys an example. Yesterday I had a very important business meeting. I went and met about 100 people. 100 people is a huge number. Okay. We had a guest speaker, a very nice person who spoke for about 1 hour about his experience of creating content, doing things on Instagram, doing things on LinkedIn. He was a former anchor in a very famous show on television. Now, this person is hardly like what, 35, 40 years old. Young fellow, not an old fellow also. But he was so interesting when he spoke. So many expressions on his face. He was moving around everywhere. He was speaking to everyone, taking opinions, very confident while speaking. Everyone, after his speech was over and we broke for dinner, everyone was wanting to speak to him. Everyone went, took photos with him. They all spoke to him. They said he spoke very well. He gave some very good pointers. What does all this show to you? Confidence, good communication, good body language. Everything put together, you become a very positive person. The 4th point is positivity. Good communication is nothing without positivity. If you have a very blunt face and you speak very well as a person, still doesn't matter to anyone because face it is not showing, no. Doesn't matter at all. So understand that most of your if does anyone remember a rule I told last time in the last session? Who remembers that rule? There was a 55-7 kind of a rule. Does anyone remember? I told what was the highest number I gave and to what I gave the highest number. If any of you remember that, the highest
body
number.
language.
Yes,
Sorry.
exactly.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Yeah,
it's
body
okay.
language.
Body language. I gave the highest number to body language. So out of 100%, over 50% I gave to body language. It is not even verbal. It is not even being said, but it is being observed. This is very important to know. I'm just showing it to you because you have to know this. There is something known as personal space. Okay, very important in body language. Again, very few people know it. Can you see the space? I've made a division: intimate space, personal space, social space, public space. When you speak to people, again, habitual things that we have. I've seen this a lot with people. People don't know spaces. You know how much distance to keep, how much to speak, what is the way to be in someone's space. Understand that there is a very important, this is a very important aspect of body language. Spacing. Even if you're very confident as a person, okay, which space you should occupy here? Which space will you occupy? Two you can occupy. Okay, personal space for a short time, social space for a longer time. Public space is a little far, so you, if I at a public space and speaking to someone, I'll have to shout, so that is not something I can do. I can be in someone's social space and personal space. Intimate space I cannot be. Intimate space is very close. Okay, so understand that if you become, or if you are a part of such situations, I have been a part of such situations many times. It happens, people don't know spaces, so they come very close to you and talk. It can happen at times. So what I generally do, I take 2 steps back, right? Just to maintain the distance. I don't tell them to back off. I take 2 steps back. They don't even realize that I've taken 2 steps back because they are talking, they are enthusiastic, they want to speak. Like I met a lot of members yesterday whom I met after a long time, after 2 3 months time I met them, so they all wanted to talk. Now suddenly what happens is, in excitement, the spacing part is gone. So if such things happen, then I just step back, so that they know that, yes, we are still talking, but there is a space in between. This is an important concept to understand. Okay, nothing to do with direct communication or nothing to do with body language, but understand that communication also depends on space. So understand what space you occupy. The more you understand this, the better it becomes. Okay, I have already told you the benefits of having good body language. I'll not stress on this a lot within this slide. Just take a look at it and keep it in your mind. But understand that if you cannot have two things in your communication, one which is good body language and one which is being assertive, and most of the time these two things go together, you can never be confident as a communicator. The one thing you will always miss is confidence, and you will always say, what I can communicate, but somehow I'm not getting the confidence to do that. If you ever say that you're not getting the confidence to do it, there could be two factors. One is your body language is off, or you're not assertive as a communicator. See which direction you have to pay attention to and start working on it. It is very important for you to work on these things. Somewhere it reflects on your personality. The more of these things that you do and it enhances your personality, the happier you will become as a communicator. Otherwise, something will always be missing. Okay, there is an image which I have put out on the right hand side, which all of you should take a look at. Positive versus negative body language. What is positive? Open, relaxed posture, maintaining eye contact, smiling. Very positive, right? All of these things matter in body language versus the negative parts which I have put out to you. It is very important to know that positive body language, or just in terms of, let's say, simple body language that I always speak about, is not so much about doing too many gestures, being too expressive on your face, doing too many things just to make someone happy. It is not about that. It is about being quietly confident. That's it. Being quietly confident. That I'm so confident, I'm able to speak to anyone, no issues with body language. I can see it, look at someone, look at their eyes and speak. Be confident while I do that. Have no inhibitions to say no to someone. If there is a problem, there is something I cannot accommodate, I have to say no. This is the only way to make this work. A lot of times, I know people will have different reasons for it, but just to put it in a nutshell, if you are not able to say no to a lot of requests that come to you, forget about everyone else and what they feel. You will reach a burnout stage very quickly in life. Burnout is a very bad thing to happen to anyone. I've seen a lot of people who have just burned out because they cannot do something, yet they keep saying yes. I will do this, I will do this, I have to do that also. Put themselves in difficult situation. So understand that everything is connected. Assertiveness is connected, body language is connected, everything is connected. This probably what I've put out in front of you right now is something which you all must know as normal ways of having good positive body language. The person on the left who's standing with a very confident pose is good body language. The more you do this, the more positive you become. Simple things you can do, right? If you know what, this I think that there is a video here. Let me just play this to you. Just look at the video. Does she seem confident? Yes, she seems confident. What's so special that she's doing? Nothing. Just walking very confidently, smiling. That's it. Simple things to be confident and having a good body language. Easy to remember, sometimes difficult to follow. I know that. Suddenly you cannot follow this. But understand that these two things matter a lot. Always keep a tab on the gestures and voice. Do not have a very high pitch while you talk. Do not have a very low pitch when you talk. Understand that there is a optimal volume to talk. Right now also I'm talking to you. Am I doing anything which is out of the way right now? I am not. I'm just talking to you very confidently. No. Is my pitch very high? No. Is my pitch very low? No. Am I using gestures? Yes. Two things you all have to do. Okay. Next time whenever we communicate, next time when we do these sessions again and a lot of interactions happen, I want to see if that confidence is getting applied here, if the body language is being learned, if the gestures are being used. All of these things will make you better. Understand that at times people have asked me, I'll just stop sharing the screen as I say this. A lot of times people have asked me whether is communication that important in life? Why do we stress so much on communication? Why do we stress so much on good communication? How does it impact my life? I can safely tell you it is, if you communicate well, you will get a lot of things done in your life. People will do things for you if you communicate well. If you do not, then you are in trouble. No one will do anything for you. No one likes to help you. No one likes to talk to you. No one likes you anyway. So if you don't want to fall into that category, learn these things in life, whether at work or in personal life. Okay, fine. I think that is it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Avneet, I hope you are still there with us. Or maybe Avneet left for another meeting. I don't know. She seems to be not here as of now. Now, before I end the session, does anyone have any questions? Anything that comes to mind, you can ask me. Or else we'll end the session for today because I think it's already 1. So I don't want to stretch it very long. All done? Everyone understood everything? What am I going to get as a result? Yes, I think Kartika started it. So thank you very much, Kartika, for that gesture. Thank you, Madhushri, as well for it. Thank you for the gestures which tell me that everything was understood by all of you. Okay, fine. Great, fantastic. Thank you, Danya. Thank you, Prasuna. Thank you, everyone, for joining in today.
Okay,
Next
sir.
session will come up, of course. Next session will come up very soon. We'll discuss something else in the next session, but let there be a flow in whatever we are doing for today, right? Avneet is back. Yes, Avneet. Hello.
Hi, Omkar. Thank you so much. And there is someone who wants to say hi to you.
Hello. Oh,
Hi,
goodness.
Omkar.
Hi. Hi. Hello.
How are you?
Okay. That's a surprise. So nice to meet you. Nice to see you here.
See,
I'm
we were
fine. I'm
talking
fine.
about body language, and there are two positive people giving you the best body language.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Great
No,
to
I
see
guess
you.
they
Great
are
to see
learning from this.
I thought ये मतलब कौन आ गया एकदम से, but nice. It's a good to have such surprises at times.
Right.
So nice to see you, and thank you, Avneet, again. Of course, I'll speak to you later. अब मैं
Sure,
यहाँ तो बात नहीं कर सकता. I'll definitely catch up with you. But
sure. Thank you, Omkar.
Avneet, we are done for today. Okay,
Yes.
I think it's over. So next session,
Yeah,
let's meet up once
we
again
have
and continue.
next session scheduled with Omkar on 26th of July.
Yes,
The
yes,
session will be
absolutely.
for resume building. So please be available for the same. And
Yes,
as
yes,
we do share the link a day before, a
absolutely.
reminder message
Yes.
will be there for you.
Cool. Okay.
I
Thanks,
hope
everyone.
it's
Thank you once again for joining in.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Omkar. Thanks for
Thank you,
so many
Avneet.
insights again.
Yes.
Okay, ladies, please take your leave. Thank you so much.
Keep,
Have a lovely day.
and keep giving such surprises, Avneet. It's good
For
at
sure, for
times.
sure.
Right? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks,
Okay,
Avneet.
bye-bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone, for joining in. Bye bye. Take care. Bye.